Hello crafty friend, happy July! I hope you're doing really well. I am coming off of a very relaxing vacation and I just got home tonight actually, and tomorrow's July 1st, so I had to make a video because I got happy mail when I got home and I have the wax seal of the month that I'm going to kind of demonstrate here today on this quick video. I'm hoping that I don't have too many issues with saying and coughing or clearing my throat, because I hope to not edit this too much, simply because I do not have a ton of time because tomorrow's July 1st and I need to get going. So anyway, this is the Wax Seal of the Month Club for July and it's called Poinsettia Joy. So what you get when you are a club subscriber is the stamp and the wax beads, and there's going to be a different color of the wax beads every month, just like there'll be a different stamp every month, a wax seal stamp that is. So I just figured I'd give you a little demo of how I wax seal. Probably shouldn't put that on there right away anyway, since I'm going to chat here, but I will talk about how I open these packages and kind of do a little organization over here. So anytime I get something like this, I just kind of peek on the side and you can see that this baggie is actually a reclosable bag. So with that being said, this is what I do. I take my scissors and I cut this part of the paper off because this tells you what the color is called. So this color this month is called Classic Crimson. So I like to keep the colors. You'll see here in a second why. Kind of self-explanatory, but I will explain it anyway. Then I carefully remove the paper from the staples. And then you can carefully take off the staples, and then you have this little pouch that your beads can sit in without them flying all over or cutting into the bag and having them spill. You know, things spill in the craft room all the time, but at least I try to prevent it. But anyway, that's what you would have if you just carefully took off that. And you can even slide this little card in the baggie and then you would know the color forever, like so. But if you're like me and you have a thrifty husband who found these, I think they're for fishing, but really any craft box would work. I like to dump my beads out like this and just put them in a little container, and then next to that container is where I like to keep some extra pieces that I have used for wax sealing. And I already have a classic crimson in my collection. This was one of the new colors this spring. So I'm actually going to just add this bag to my existing section of my little container here. I'm just going to move that flame over. I probably could have waited to start burning that, but that's life. Anyway, so I have my little crimson pouch in there and I will just dump them in. I'm going to save a few since I am going to be sealing today. You may have noticed on my channel I have a few wax seal videos. I actually just posted one when this video goes up. It will be yesterday, so the 30th, with some of the new colors. But I also have on my channel some videos where I show you how I wax seal, and it's more of an in-depth look of how I wax seal. So if you're interested of how to do that, I will put a little card on the screen. It should be right over here. Hopefully I can remember to do that when I am editing anyway. And then you can watch that, or you can maybe be a quick learner and learn from this today. But that video is a little more in-depth, so there's that. Anyway, when I unpackage my wax stamps, I always take them out of the packaging and I just dispose of the packaging. And this is what the wax seal looks like this month. It has this really nice heavy-duty handle. It unscrews so you can actually put a different seal on if you want. And then it has this really heavy, but you know, it's meant to be heavy, a heavy stamp section. I think it's brass if I remember correctly, and this one is an oval, and it says Joy, which is just so pretty, and I love that capital J that reminds me of my name, and it just makes me happy. Anyway, let's just do a seal, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about the club. So, the Better Press, if you're not aware, there's also a new club, the Better Press Club and the Wax Seal Club. So those will not be added to the Total Package Club yet. Perhaps in the future Spellbinders will do that, but I have it on good authority that they're not doing that yet. So the total package will remain the same price. So if you're interested in adding this wax seal or the Better Press onto your total package, I believe you can do that pretty easily on the website. So that should be wonderful. I am not aware of how the timing of it all will work. I know that Spellbinders has released new collections in the past, and then you have to wait till the 6th if you're not a subscriber. So I would just like to encourage you to check out the link in the description to their club information, and it should be on there for you. If it's available for you to grab right away, you can do that. If you have to wait to the 6th, I'm sorry, but you will eventually get it. So I have a feeling that this club, the wax one and the Better Press, will sell out, because everything that's new usually goes kind of fast on Spellbinders website. So if it is July 1st when you're watching this and you want it, try to get it today. If you have to wait to the 6th, you'll have to just wait till the 6th and see how it goes. But I really love wax sealing, and I really love the Better Press. I think it is such a fun way to craft. It's kind of a new way for me anyway, the Better Press. And wax sealing I've been doing for, I don't know, since like last November, so a few months now. And this trusty little toothpick has been with me the whole journey. Anyway, but I really find wax sealing really satisfying, and I just enjoy it I enjoy it a lot. And as I was chatting, I made my wax into a circle, which if I would have been thinking a little clearer, I would have done my original pour in a oval, but we'll see how it turns out. If it doesn't, I'll show you what I do when wax sealing does not turn out, which is kind of thrifty. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, I really do enjoy wax sealing. I just did it on vacation, and actually was wax sealing outside on a deck in the beautiful Minnesota weather. It was just gorgeous, and you'll know that if you are part of my Facebook group. I did post a picture of my little setup, so let's see how this turned out. Nope. Maybe it needs a little bit more time. Wax sealing is one of those things where you kind of have to do it a little bit to kind of understand the timing of it all, because the temperature can be so different based on the height of your wick and all sorts of things. Oh, that turned out really good. Okay, so you can see on this one, the shape of my original pour was a circle, so it is a little bit off here, but you can see the impression. Hang on, let's see, there you go. You can see the impression of the Joy. It really does not come across on camera very well. Let's see if I can pop it on a paper towel, see if it will focus. It's just really pretty. And my favorite part of wax sealing is this process, but when you add a metallic paint marker on top of this and I draw on the raised areas, it is so stunning. This Joy one would be so perfect to add on the outside of an envelope for a Christmas card, or even on a card for a special person's Christmas card. I think that anyone would be really excited to get that. Could almost do 2 from that one. Recently, I found that, just really being professional here. Recently, I found that 4 is almost too many, but I don't think 3 is enough, so I keep going with 4. I don't know, I might be changing that in the future, because there's definitely a lot of extra wax on the side, and you can see there's some left in the spoon there. So I'm not sure, but I do kind of like playing around with the process of it all. Let's see what happens when I put 3 in, just for trying sake. I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but you can see the one that I did before, the edges are definitely more of a matte finish here, and this hot wax right here is a little shinier still, so it's definitely still cooling down. You don't need to leave the wax seal on for very long. You definitely don't need to rush to put the stamp on the wax once it's poured. It can take a little time and just be fine as well, but again, like I said, it's kind of a trial and error thing, and once you kind of get going with it, it can be really fun. I was kind of hoping that one of these does not turn out, so I can show you what happens. So maybe we'll see what happened with number 2, and I don't know. That would just be just about right when I'm wax sealing by myself. I definitely have some oops wax seals, and now that I'm camera, it's gonna go just fine. I don't know. We'll see how number 2 turned out. All right, there's my oval. Whoop, there you go. There's the oops. Okay. Of course, that's gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I guess if the number 2 and number 3 turn out really well, I'll show you with number 1 what happens when I make a mistake or it doesn't seal just right. And then I have to redo it. But I just think that this impression is just stunning. Look at that. If you see some paint on my nails or hands, yeah, I was painting. I was kind of artsy-fartsy on vacation, so maybe at the end of this video I'll show you a painting that I was painting. I did one of those like paint and sip classes, but there was no wine, so it was just a paint class. And then I did a ceramics class as well. I don't have the bowl anywhere near me, so I probably won't show that today, but I think I have the painting around here somewhere. I literally just got back from vacation, so things are a little crazy. Maybe I'll just show you now since I have it. As that wax seal dries, it is not that great. Oh, I can't quite get a good angle. Maybe I'll have to zoom out a little. There it is. I don't know. It turned out okay. I'm not in love with it, but I feel like I tried my best and I had fun with some family friends and my mom. Great, my camera's all messed up now. Hang on. Anyway, like I was saying, I had fun with my mom and some family friends, so that was very nice. Oh, that looks really good too. You guys, why is this working so well on camera? I mean, I'd say like 90% of my wax seals turn out the way that I want them to, but you know, there's always that 10% of mistakes, if you will. I don't know. I guess of the 3, I think that this number 3 turned out the best, which was with 3 wax seals. So I'm just going to be kind of crazy here and just pull that out. Be careful. Anytime you're doing wax sealing, you have to kind of be with it because you're working with an open flame. So caution. Also, this piece right here, that metal piece that connects into the wood, does get a little warm, so just be careful. I'm sure, you know, you'll be fine. It's not that dangerous, but it's not like stamping with a Misty, you know. Anyway, I'm very, very excited about this whole wax seal of the month situation because I really like wax sealing, and Better Press has been so fun to play around with. And right after I'm done filming this video, I'm going to go do a Better Press video, and I think I'm going to try the method where you don't use any ink and you just do the impression and then pull out some watercolors. I know, exciting, isn't it? So we'll see what happens. I don't know, I might change my mind. We'll see. Okay, as that finishes warming up, I'll show you the Better Press, which is the new club of the month. Here it is. Isn't that pretty? It's called Poinsettia Frame. I'll show you the back. So you can even pull out that Merry Christmas and just use that on something, or you can do the poinsettia frame and pop a different sentiment in there. Isn't it pretty? I'm so excited. I just love like the classic look of the Better Press. And before getting the Better Press, I had never used a letterpress system before. So I find the whole thing very intriguing, and it's really giving me a chance to pull out my watercolors, which that makes me so happy because I think that I just like to play around with watercolors a lot. Okay, let's see if this one turns out good. I'm gonna take the worst one of the four and I'll show you what happens when I make a mistake. And then how to save the beads, because you know, we're all here, at least I am here crafting on a budget, so every little thing counts when you're saving money, saving the moolah. And of course, it turns out perfectly as well. Okay, I'm going to use this one, which was the original wax seal that came with this whole sealed system. But this bead, these wax beads are called magenta. They look like this. They're so cute. Anyway, this seal didn't turn out perfectly once upon a time whenever I did it. You can see here there's some kind of lumps here, and then the 4U didn't have like the perfect impression, but with the U there. And you know what, really doesn't matter, but when I like to use my metallic paint pens over the raised areas, I like all the raised areas to be the same height, so you know, we're cutting it up. But that's really how I like to reuse my wax seals if they don't turn out perfectly. And I'm gonna leave the crimson that's in there and just see what happens when I add a little bit of this magenta to it. We'll just see. It's probably going to just be a darker pink. It's not that big of a mystery, but there you have it. You know, I think while this is doing its thing in the pot, we are going to add some color. This is from Deco Color. It's just the silver, and it has kind of a squared off tip. Okay, and then when I color, I just like to kind of gently go over the raised areas, and if there's any sections that get the silver that I don't want to get the silver, I just use my tool-in-one and kind of scrape. I cannot remember if I got the paint pens on the Spellbinders website or if I got them from scrapbook.com, so I will figure that out when I'm editing this video and have a link for you in the description. Alright, that's all mixed up. Definitely is kind of a red, dark pink, reddish pink. I'll do my oval there, and I think we're going to do another one, just a circle. And I have a small circle, so if I can get my act together and get everything on quickly, it should all be great. Okay, here goes the joy. Let's do this one. I think it's a little circle. This one's just a plain circle, but it is a smaller seal than the usual size. I think it's 3/4 of an inch, if I remember correctly. Gonna blow out my candle since I'm just gonna focus on finishing up with this coloring, and then we'll reveal the last two seals. And I feel like I just got some on the edge, but such is life when you are filming. Okay, now I have some on the edge that I'm not really thrilled about, so I'm gonna take my pokey part of my tool-in-one. I don't know the name of it besides pokey part, so we're going with it. I'm just going to scrape kind of lightly, and that should get paint off. Like that. Pretty simple. And that is so pretty. I love that. I also have a gold paint pen. Might as well do one of these in gold since I can. Okay, there's the gold. so gorgeous. I just want to mention, between the two of these markers, or paint pens, this one is the Pilot brand, and if you notice, the tip is very pointy and the paint just kind of falls out of this one. It's definitely very, very viscous. It's just flowing. And this one has that chisel tip, like that would be great for calligraphy, and it's not as wet and flowing as the gold. So I did have a little bit of pooling on my flower, which is the poinsettia. So I just actually colored the whole thing in instead of sitting there and picking it all out. So there's definitely a little bit of difference there between the two brands, but such is life. Okay, and here's my Magenta Joy, and it definitely is a little bit smaller than I usually do, which is so ironic because it was my last one and the other ones worked out, but anywho. And then there's my little circle, and this is so cute. I have always wanted to make one of these little circles and then stamp on it with some archival ink, so we'll see about that in the future, but for now it's going to go in my little carrying case. And now these are ready for some cards, so I'm so excited. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. I hope that you subscribe to this new club. If you are, let me know in the comments. If you're interested in signing up for this club, I will have it posted in the description. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in my next one. Bye!